My name is Hannah Haines. I'm a choreographer. I'm based in Biddeford, Maine, and I'm the director of Biddeford Movement Map. So the Biddeford Movement Map is a series of workshops, performances, and sort of public events that explore the history of Biddeford. What we're really working on in this project is the idea that we can empathize with people in the past and that we can best understand history through the stories that people share about their lives. This practice is something that we've been developing in our rehearsal process to really bring that sort of intellectual idea of, okay, so there are all these stories that exist and we understand that history is stories, but what does that mean in an actual movement practice, right? And so today we wanted to bring some of those discoveries as well as perhaps discover with other people new things. So we started just by exploring how we can relate to one another in a physical sense. And then we're sort of coming through this workshop seeing, okay, so we understand that we can physically relate to one another. That's something that we might be a little more familiar with, you know, if I wave, you wave back, that sort of common courtesy. But then how do we take that to the next level of saying, okay, I'm hearing this story that you're telling and I have an emotional response to it maybe, or I experience it as you're telling it to me, and so then how can we start to physicalize those experiences? And what does it bring out in terms of the understanding of the story when you physicalize it or when you watch me physicalize it? And so what we really wanted to do today was bring people into that process, moving from telling these little stories and then eventually going to a place where we're exploring an interview growing up in the late 50s, early 60s in Biddeford that I did with my dad. And so from there you can say, okay, I was able to understand what it meant when someone was telling me about their morning routine. And I can, in the same way, understand what it means when someone tells me about their experience as a 3-year-old growing up in Biddeford. And so in that way, we can start to relate really in a physical sense to the stories that are being told.